Hey everybody, it's a Review Revolution. Today, not only are we going to continue with the DC Universe Wave 13 Blue Beetle, but we're also going to flash back to the DC Universe Wave 7 Classics Blue Beetle, or Original Blue Beetle. And reason for that being, Blue Beetle is from the the classic Blue Beetle is from the Atom Smasher wave, Wave 7. This is also the one that had, of course, Captain Cold, the Flash. Well, you see Captain Cold, the Flash, Kid Flash, Big Barda, the Aquaman. Let's see here, Booster Gold, a lot of Booster Golds, and I just never got the wave. I never did get the wave. I've got the Toys R Us exclusive Flash, the metallic one, so I'm happy to have that one. I may go back and pick up the Booster Gold, but Captain Cold, Kid Flash, Big Barda, these are figures I did want. They just sold out way too fast for me to get. So I sat on Blue Beetle. I didn't know what I was going to do with him, but I'm glad I did, because now, along with him in the original packaging, I can show him off with the more modern Blue Beetle with his wings and the blade. Funny enough, the button he comes with is of the Classics Blue Beetle and not so much one of himself. And of course, the packaging here has the other figures. Now, mentioned it many times, finally get a chance to show you. Sure enough, it still shows all the different figures that are in the two waves, but here, they actually make a point of right leg, right arm, left arm, upper and middle torso, head and lower torso, base figure in the middle, and then of course the Build-A-Figure up top. Here, it shows you who the characters are: Negative Man, Superboy, Cyclotron, Blue Beetle, Cheetah, Blue Devil, Donna Troy, and then finally Trigon. But not only on the side, not even on the side, where here on the Classics, not only did it tell you what it was, but it was highlighted. Here, yeah, you're just guessing. So, difference in packaging. Funny enough, the card itself is pretty much exactly the same. It's just what's printed on it and then the bubble that covers it are different. So, taking a look first at the classic Blue Beetle, his bio: Ted Gord, friend and protege to the original Blue Beetle Dan Garrett, assumed the hero's mantle when Garrett was fatally injured in combat with robots commanded by Ted's uncle Jarvis. Unfortunately, Ted did not inherit any of Dan's superpowers and instead studied a variety of martial arts skills and invented a multitude of non-lethal weapons, none greater than the Bugs, his solar-powered stealth crime-fighting vehicle. First appearance, Captain Atom, first series number 63, 1966. Real name, Theodore Ted Cord. Industrialist adventure, base of operations New York City. Special abilities, mastery of multiple martial arts, ingenious inventor, Blue Beetle gun, with non-lethal compressed air blasts and blinding strobe. The Bug, solar-powered vehicle equipped with non-lethal weapons and stealth attributes. So that's what made up the, I guess maybe not the classic, but certainly the middle Blue Beetle. The modern Blue Beetle, when the Rock of Eternity exploded, the alien scarab encased within it fell to Texas and bonded with Jaime Reyes. Jaime Reyes' spine, making him the third Blue Beetle. Jaime found that with a mere thought, he could use it to generate armor, tools, and weaponry. He also learned that the scarab was an advanced agent for an expansionist alien species that had bonded with Jaime. Together, they beat back the alien attack, and Jaime's heroic efforts earned him a spot in the Teen Titans. First appearance, Infinite Crisis number 5, 2006. Real name Jaime Reyes. Occupation, high school student, adventure. Base of operation, El Paso, Texas. Special abilities, alien armor provides flight enhancement, strength, can generate multiple forms of weapons. So, very, very cool characters both. Let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and pop these figures open and have a look. Be right back. Alright guys, thanks for sticking around. To really quick, take a look at the traditional, classic, original second generation, whatever you want to call him, Blue Devil. Just a really, really nice figure. I mean, this is certainly one I'm glad to have. Is something where, you probably saw the Blue Beetle, a couple of different places, a couple of different of the animated shows, and his figure does him so. I mean, it does so much justice to him. He looks so good. I mean, a couple of mild complaints, but for the most part, the paint, the two different kinds of blue. I mean, it looks really good. The legs, now, for the most part, when you look at him, he is really just a body. There's not any additional sculpting really to him. Everything on him, almost like it was a exclusive figure, like you might have seen from the Wave 5 or even the Public Enemies. He's built off a base body, and it's only the paint that's put on him, and it is painted very well. I mean, there's very little smudge. There are no smudges that I can tell. Everything is clean. The lines are sharp. But that's the only type of relief that you see that's on him, because there's nothing else that's sculpted on his body. But that's okay, because the way he's painted, it's just so nicely done. It's you can almost overlook it. Now the head, of course, the usual Blue Beetle head with the yellow goggles, and you can kind of see inside them. But I'll tell you, when you actually look at the figure, they do look a little misty. These aren't quite as clear or translucent yellow as I would hoped. So, I mean, it's nice. I mean, it's definitely accurate. But in person, those goggles are actually a little dirtier, or a little dustier, or a little more misty than it seems to be on camera. But of course, he's got the little Blue Beetle antenna coming off the top of the eyes. They covered his ears. Thank you. I don't like it when they have their sticky out ears. Being an earlier wave, does have the both up and down. And please note how much range of movement it has on this ball joint here. Of course, side to side. Can look up. Can look down. Can look straight ahead. His arm does come up and out. Twist the bicep, elbow, and wrist. You may have noticed he does have very loose crunch, but good twist. It comes up, out, twisted thigh, knee, and foot. He does have a belt that's been added to him, which is the only thing that really differentiates him from just a standard base body, is they did go ahead and give him this belt, and with it is this rather large holster, which is probably the only complaint I have about him, is because though it looks cool for him to have it, you can see that it really does get in the way. He can't really put his arm to his side. So, if it had been moved back just a little bit, or maybe just to the front a little bit, but being that it's right there on the side, it does kind of limit where his arm can go. Now, inside the holster, there is his Beetle gun. We'll set this down for a sec. Has his Beetle gun. Because his solar car would have been just too big to pack in, I guess. But kind of nifty, kind of neat. That's right there in his hand. So again, for a Justice League or a DC Classics collector, yeah, Blue Beetle is certainly a great addition. I mean, I think he was a worthy pick for the wave. A little basic, sure, but yeah, I don't mind at all because of how well the paint applications turned out. He does actually come with the right leg of Atom Smasher, who slowly I'll be putting together, I'm sure. Maybe one day when I have all the figures done, I'll do a retrospective on the wave, kind of doing a little at a time. But let's take a moment and put this one aside and look at the more modern Blue Beetle. All right, and now we've got the modern Blue Beetle, the Teen Titan Blue Beetle, and I got to say, between Cheetah, Donna Troy with their new leg joint, And with the Blue Beetle as a whole here, Wave 13 is certainly shaping up to be kind of the experimental wave, because this is where they're trying out some really interesting stuff. And if you've watched my reviews of the Marvel Legends, you know I'm not a particular fan of double joints, but it looks like it's working out pretty well on the Blue Beetle here. So before anybody, automatically assumes I'm just gonna be down on this figure because of the double joints, not so. Actually, I do think this is really good. And overall, it's a really great figure. I mean, this is so impressive. Again, I did not really follow his story a whole lot, but this is a really cool looking figure. I mean, the character design is outstanding. I love kind of the helmeted mask he's got. That actually is really cool. Very alien. The actual beetle itself that is on his back, you can actually see it kind of grabbing onto his body there. Even has kind of the beetle texturing. And then has these wings, which they're not a soft plastic, but they're not quite as rigid as say, a killer moth either. So very happy with what they used for the plastic on the wings here. The metallic blue that's throughout the figure is really nicely done. It's very well put together. And the sculpting on the bottom of the feet, which, I always love it when they take extra time to give extra sculpting. So the sculpting on the bottom of the feet here, very nice. Of course, it kind of continues the entire kind of plated body and legs. Has kind of the ovals on the side, but really good. Primo figure. Great design, great execution. Now, as we were talking about the articulation, he does have a little bit more of the articulation than others in the set. As a matter of fact, I think he probably has more range of motion for a new figure than any of the previous set characters have had. So nice to see that in there. His arms come up and out. He has much thinner arms. Not as thin as, say, a female figure arms, but actually quite thin for a teenage character. Has a twist of the bicep. Has the double-jointed elbow, which bends completely. It does take advantage of both joint spots very nicely. Has a twist at the wrist, but also a hinge. So, again, taking full use of old Marvel Legend-style articulation, but working into these DC figures just beautifully. Love it. He's got the crunch. He's got the twist. Leg comes out. Twist at the thigh. Again, double joint at the knee. Not quite as impressed at the knee. Don't think it's using quite as much. Don't know if we really need a double joint at the knee. And then we've got the hinge at the foot. So again, really good. The knee, I think, could have been left out, but good job on the arm. Really interested to see where this is going to take us next. Now, Blue Beetle also comes with his blade, which is made of a very soft plastic, more like what we see on capes and things of that nature. So, better to have the soft plastic here than here, because if this had been any more rigid, you could have stabbed somebody's eye out. So, really kind of nice. And it just sort of snaps onto his arm like so, like we saw in the packaging. And of course, he comes with the left leg of Trigon. So one comes with the right leg, one comes with the left. Coincidence? Who knows? But still very cool. Let me bring in the classic Blue Beetle again. Really great to have side by side, actually. If you've got the two, if you've got one and not the other, try and get the other. If you've got them both, and you know what I mean, really nice, really impressive. I like them both. Certainly hope everybody enjoyed watching. Rate, comment, subscribe, join the revolution. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.